Hey guys, Pedro here to tell you about the latest from Grailknights Forever, out October 17th on RPM. This album has 11 tracks, 36 minutes in length, and this is the band's 7th full-length studio album. They are a German power metal band. Now, the design of this record is interesting because for the overall length of the album, to have two slower songs, I would go as far as to say two ballads, one of them being In the Eyes of the Enemy and the other one An Animated Love, I feel like it's a little bit too much. If the album had a little bit more to it, if the record was 40-45 minutes in length, breaking up side A and side B with two slower songs definitely would make a lot of sense, because it would make the record feel a lot more dynamic, would make the record flow a lot better. But for an album with 11 tracks and 36 minutes, these two songs slow down the record, and I don't think the album needed both of them. Perhaps one of them in the middle would make things a lot better, dividing side A from side B. But it's an album that definitely suffers a little bit because of it, because the overall flow, the overall movement of this album is so contagious that you don't want it to stop. You want that fluidity to just keep on going, because that's one of the great attributes that this record has. So these two songs have great qualities individually, but to have both of them in the context of this album, I think it's a little bit of a design flaw. Now, as far as the sound is concerned, this album sounds amazing. In my humble opinion, the best sounding album by Grailknights by far. It's an album that definitely feels classic power metal sounding, but it also has other elements. It has more modern elements, obviously, with the synths. It also has some folk elements. It has some classic heavy metal elements. It has a little bit of everything mixed into their very own style of power metal, and I think that is the key to success for this record, because it allows the album to always feel like a power metal record, song in and song out, but not every single song offers the same exact experience. The nuances, the influences, and the diversity of influences in the sound allow each and every single track to have a little bit of an individual aspect to it, an individual fingerprint, individual DNA, if you will, that still merges really well in the overall design of the record, but it also allows you to see the forest a lot better from the trees. And I think that is a great element to have, specifically in an album that is this short. You definitely want to create more ebbs and flows, you definitely want to create more fluidity, making the album overall more engaging, and the sound on this record checks all of those boxes. A sound that has great guitars. I love the guitar sound throughout the entire album, always feeling like it's adding a lot of power into power metal, adding a little bit of a bite as well, not always super melodic, but also adding some heaviness to the sound, to the overall textures of the sound. And I think that works really well, not just for the band, but for the overall record itself in terms of what it wants to put forward. And it matches also really well with the overall drum sound, that while not powerful or overpowering or even thick, it does have a lot of substance in it, and a lot of substance brings character. The drum sound pairs up perfectly with the guitars throughout the entire record. Sometimes you're going to hear it, to me the most interesting aspect is what you're going to hear in a lot of the solos on this album, which is the guitars becoming super light and almost separating themselves from the track, and the drums saying don't go too far, and adding the heaviness to them behind that solo, so that the two complement one another and one elevates the other. So it's a great production behind this overall record, a great production that definitely emphasizes the guitar sound first and foremost, but still gives a lot of room for the drums, the bass, and even the synths to play an important aspect of defining what the overall soundscape on this album is all about. Now, once you get to the vocals, I think the vocal performance on this record matches the design, and it definitely matches the individual DNA of each and every single track. One of the things that I enjoyed about the vocals on this record was the use of backing vocals quite a bit, specifically more so in some of the choruses, creating a little bit more of a hymn style approach, of an anthem style approach to some of these songs. What that does is it creates a little bit more of an earworm as far as these choruses and as far as these songs are concerned. They become a lot more palpable, they become a lot bigger as well, and that allows you to focus your attention on that chorus, allowing you to really be the centerpiece, the climax of the song. So that change, or that dynamic vocally around the choruses, not every chorus, but around a lot of the choruses on this record, is definitely a nice addition to what this album puts forward. But vocally, super strong record top to bottom. I think the vocals definitely add a lot of great quality, and not having necessarily a one-size-fits-all approach also brings a lot of quality to the overall record that, in my opinion, is not just the band's best sounding album, it's definitely the best album that the band has ever released. I mean, this record checks all the boxes, from the overall length that it has, or that it lacks, depending on how you want to view it, to the style and the individuality of each and every single song, merging different elements of different genres and still keeping the DNA of the band and still keeping that power metal sound alive and well throughout. Definitely resonates with me, a power metal fan, and I think this album is going to resonate not just with the fans of the band, but definitely the fans of the genre. Now, as far as favorite songs are concerned, I'm actually shocked that the 3 tracks that I'm going to put forward were not any of the singles. To me, hands down, these are the best 3 songs the album has to offer, starting off with Weekend Ninja. First of all, I love a little bit of a Lady Gaga nod, specifically Poker Face, that this song has, and I'm going to let you guys kind of discover where it is. It's very noticeable. It's not necessarily something that impacts the song tremendously, but I thought adding a little bit of Poker Face, the aroma of that song, specifically on the vocal side, on the backing vocal side, on this track, was really interesting. It's also a track that has a little bit of a folky melody to it, and I think that works really well for a track like this because it allows it to be a little bit more open, a little bit more bouncy. It's a track where you're going to find the verses to be more direct, more fluid, more driven, and then obviously with a great chorus with amazing backing vocals, and where that folky melody really comes into play and allowing the track to just blossom at the right time. The consistency of the drums really help push this song forward, so it's not a song that depends only on the guitar sound, but it also depends on the drums to create some consistency that really helps the track move along. Great song, great chorus, super memorable, and the lyrics are absolutely hilarious. Next we have Snow in Bordeaux. Now, if Sabaton was to create a song about weather conditions, this track would be it. This track reminded me of 1,000 Sabaton songs. It has a lot of Sabaton DNA in terms of the construction of the track, in terms of the vocal delivery on the track, the way the lyrics play within the song. There's just a lot of Sabaton about this track without necessarily making the song sound like a straight rip-off of a Sabaton track. But it's a great song. It has a little bit more of a mellow experience in the verses, more contained, more leg thumping, if you will, to use the Sabaton a reference. And then when you get into the chorus is just phenomenal. Once again, another track with backing vocals in the chorus that really help create an anthem, hymn style vibe for this song. And then when you look at the lyrical content, when you look at the overall style of the track that really brings in that Sabaton vibe, having a chorus that plays off like an anthem, like a hymn, is absolutely perfect. The vocals throughout are perfect, but that specific delivery in the chorus is what sells this song. The track also has an amazing solo, and this is one that I want you guys to check out because the solo really opens up the song, and then you have the drums increasing the heaviness behind that solo. The combination of the two just really sets the track apart as far as how that duality of elements works so well hand in hand to make that portion of the track super explosive. Last, but definitely not least, my favorite song on the entire album. I cannot stop listening to this track and singing along, Mighty Metal Maiden. This is a great track. Now, it's not the fastest song, it's not the most bounciest songs, but it's so memorable. It has one of the best chorus on the entire album. It's easy to remember, it's easy to sing along, it has that sing along capability to it. The overall track has a great combo of guitars and drums together in terms of how they pair up, and the sound and the opulence that they give to the track. The chorus has that bouncy singing along experience to it. It's a super melodic track, great melodies, not just on a musical side of things, but definitely great melodies from a vocal delivery standpoint. And because of how all of this comes together, the lyrical content also plays a role in how catchy and how hooky this song is. Was easily my favorite song from the first time I listened to the entire album. All three very unique, very different from one another, still with a lot of similarities as well. This is kind of the synopsis of what this whole record is all about. A lot of similarities, but with each and every single song having their own set of uniquenesses. Grailknights with Forever, once again out October 17th on RPM. Hit me up in the comment section, let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you all at the next video. Take care, guys.